organic farming and its future aspects in underdeveloping countries. So my name is Dr. Zubair Aslam. I am working as associate professor in the Department of Agronomy, University of Agriculture, Faisalabad in Pakistan. So first of all, I would like to define the vermicomposting. Vermicomposting is the process by which earthworms are used to convert organic matter material into a humus-like material known as vermicompost is a stable, fine, granular organic fertilizer rich in humus and nutrients. So usually it's a normal practice from the farmers that they use the farmyard manure and other agricultural waste like rice straw, sugarcane straw, they incorporate into the soil and soil become enriched with the minerals and nutrients. But through vermicompost, this is the almost similar process, but before adding to the soil, we have to pass through the gut of the earthworms. So this is it's like a, I have experience with this for the last 3 and 4 years, and it's really a magic, and it has some wonderful effects on the plants also. So my presentation is just general information about vermi technology and its importance, and also how to make it and how we have facing the problems in general content. Pakistan is an agricultural country having the largest irrigation system, fertile soil, favorable environment for crop production, and determined farmers. However, organic matter levels of agricultural soils are gradually decreasing, and it will be amazing for you people that in Pakistan we have very low organic content, somewhere less than zero point 0.1 or just 1. So it's a very bad situation for Pakistan. Our sales are very good in other contents, but as when we concern the organic matter, it's very low. And unconscious and excessive use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides adversely affects soil quality and environment. Small farmers are affected by adverse environmental conditions, high input price, such as chemical fertilizers, pesticides, and oil. So this is a normal practice in Pakistan and other many underdeveloped countries, and even in developed countries, that we are totally depending on the chemical fertilizers. So with the passage of time, as you people know that these have very adverse effects on the. Moreover, the overuse of agrochemicals generate a big risk for ecosystem stability. Some of the main problems in Pakistan soils are low organic matter, soil salinity, misuse of agricultural land, and inputs such as chemical fertilizers, and as well as we are wasting the organic matter, and most of the organic matter which is collected from the by the farmers, and they are selling to the clean market bricks. They are making the bricks and they are burning it, or maybe they cannot dispose and they burn at the site. So they are causing the pollution, air pollution, and also from the last 3 years we are facing a big problem from the smoke. So during December and January, there is a really big problem, and it's like air pollution. But from this we cannot travel and we cannot breathe and a lot of other problems. So vermicompost, because of high humic and fluoric acid and other good properties, is more valuable to the soil than our manures and other raw organic waste. Organic fertilizer application is beneficial because it increases. Generally, the use of vermicompost in soil is a form of recycling contained in waste and reducing chemical fertilizer use. The input cost of chemical fertilizer, which have a significant share in agriculture inputs, is the conventional system are increasing steadily. That leads both fertilizer companies and big the solution to this problem is to produce vermicompost. So, the awareness of vermicompost production from organic waste increased in recent years in different. Uh, we have collaboration with the Higher Education Commission of Pakistan, and this I have also a good project. Also, we have collaboration with Turkey, Tekerdak University from Turkey, and they are really expert and they are helping me very much. But in Turkey, the number of plants that produce legal authorized vermicompost is around 15 at present. Over 4,500 legally unauthorized compost and vermicompost producers are there. Over 270 vermicomposting units are working in India. India is very good in this contest. Their farmers are aware of this technology and also they are very innovative than I think Pakistani farmers. I just started for the last 3 years this technology. Although Pakistan, National Agriculture Research Center Islamabad is also working with that. But that is limited to just research, but not expanding to the farmers. When I started, I was also thinking that it will remain maybe in to the paper contest, but I saw this amazing response from the farmers, and many farmers when I uploaded my video to the YouTube, and many farmers called me and they wanted to learn this technology and they wanted to not only learn but they want to do this technology for commercial purpose also. So it was very really happy news for me that to know that many farmers want to learn this technology. So I think in future many farmers will learn and also this technology will help the farmers to get rid of chemical fertilizers and to use the organic fertilizers. Also, as compared to the other world, in Pakistan, organic farming is not very much popular, but it is just going to start. Okay, so no vermicompost commercial unit is working in the country until now. But now we are giving training to the farmers, and they are going to start. Currently, a vermicompost center has been developed at University of Agriculture Hyderabad by the population of, as I told you, by the population of Higher Education Commission of Pakistan and researchers from. So this is the unit and this is the opening ceremony. Why vermicompost is important for the plants? It has many reasons. Improve soil aeration, enrich soil with microorganisms when the material passes to the gut of the earthworm. Many active microflora, which include zinc solubilizing bacteria, phosphorus solubilizing bacteria, and many other good quality bacteria in which this material. Microbial activity in worm casting is 10 to 20 times higher than in the soil and organic matter that the worm ingests. And improves water holding capacity. It's the normal quality of the organic matter that they increase the water holding capacity. But with this also we can increase the water holding capacity. The castings are rich in humic acid, which conditions the soil and help benefit. improves nutrient recycling.
Sorry to disturb you, Professor.
Yeah.
Can you check your audio because it is jerking a lot in between so that we can clearly hear you?
So there is disturbance.
Yes, yes. Can you check your
How,
audio once, Mike?
uh, how about now? Now is okay.
Yes, maybe it is okay.
Okay. It provides the plants with essential nutrients and aids in the suppression of plant disease. Wall castings contain 5 times more nitrogen, 7 times more phosphorus, and 11 times more potassium than ordinary soil, the main minerals needed for plant growth. It contains macro and micronutrients, beneficial soil microbes, and nitrogen fixing and phosphorus solubilizing bacteria, actinomycetes, and plant growth regulators like auxins, cytokinins, and gibberellins. So here is just a comparison between the food waste vermicompost, cow manure vermicompost, and sheep manure vermicompost, and you can see that nitrogen content in all is more than 1%. Phosphorus is also more than 1%. Potassium is also like this. Calcium, magnesium, zinc, manganese, organic matter content. Our organic matter is also more than 30%. So, including these, this data, microorganisms is the best one, and also other growth regulators are involved in this. So let's see how to prepare the vermicompost. This is very important to learn, and it has many problems also. So I have learned, and also we solve the problems. First thing is selection of site for vermicompost, where we want to produce the vermicompost, collection of organic waste, pre-composting of organic waste, preparation of earthworm bed, transfer of earthworms, harvesting vermicompost, storing the vermicompost. So this is just one layout, that collection of the raw material, then pre-composting for 20 to 60 days, then addition of earthworms for 60 to 90 days. It also depends on the nature of the material which we are going to feed them. Step 4 is the sieving, and then final product is received, and then we store them, or maybe we use them. Vermicompost can be produced in any place with shade, high humidity, and cool place. Unused cattle shed or poultry shed can be used. So generally many farmers have this place, but that is unused, that is wastage, so they can use this for this purpose. It is to be the produced in open area. If this is shady, then it's better. A straw roof may be provided to protect from direct sunlight and rain. So this is two conditions which we have to avoid. Direct sunlight and rain is provided. So cover is must. The waste heap for vermicompost production should be covered with moist guinea bags. So maybe big cloth is also important. For collection of material, any type of biodegradable waste is important, especially as we have done research and analysis. Every type of waste has different composition, so and also likeness of earthworms is also depending on the material. So it's very important to understand this technology, and usually there are many publications regarding this material. Rice straw and also farmyard manure mixing is the best, and it gives the very nice results. Wheat biomass, vegetable waste, leaf litter, waste from agro industries, biodegradable portion of urban and rural waste. Then the step is pre-composting. Pre-composting of organic waste for 20 to 25 days, maybe 30 days. It depends on the material. For example, we receive many types of material. Sometimes we just see how it is already pre-decomposed, and if there is some smell or some heat inside, then we shorten the we can increase the time. If there is no smell and there's no heat, all gases have been removed, then we can decrease the time. Now, this process partially digests the material and fit for consumption. It also helps in the removal of harmful gases. Cattle dung may be used after drying. Wet dung should not be used for vermicompost production. Preparation of earthworm bed. This is a very important step. It cannot be ignored. A good bedding material is required to put the waste for vermicompost preparation. Loose soil will allow the worms to go into the soil. Watering, all the dissolved materials and nutrients go into the soil along with water. So, for this purpose, we can use the wooden boxes, maybe 1 to 1 meter dimension, and also there are some different types. You can see common structures. This is windrow composting, and also we can add earthworms here in this side. Bin composting for such purpose, and also for small scale, just like or kitchen gardening, and like this we can use them. And other farmers are using food tank system. This is also good. um, or maybe we can use this bed method for vermicompost. Also small vermi beds. These are also very nice spatial structures, and also aerated through pumps, or maybe naturally the gases have been removed, or just. And this is automated flow through reactors. These are constructed from Turkey. Maybe other countries are also constructing, but I have seen first time, and they are very nice. I will show you this structure. Earthworms live in a rectangular raised box having 1 meter width. So in this structure, they have maintained to some extent heat, as well as the ground cover, and there is some railing system, and there is very specific system to grow the earthworms in that material. So there are some cutters on the first on the ground stage, and they move and they cut the and they remove the recomposed which is first prepared, and they are adding the raw material slowly on the upper surface. So the earthworms are moving from the lower surface to upper surface, and the lower surface is free from earthworms, but they are totally decomposed from the earthworms. And just like that, they have made the cycles. So first cycle maybe 1 foot or 30 centimeter, then like this they increase. In automated flow through reactors, preliminary bedding material of 10 centimeter thickness is used. The reactor then feed with worms and feeding stock of 20 centimeter thickness. So this is their principle. Organic material is continuously added on the top once in a week. Common bedding material which we use in the first step: cow dung, horse manure, sheep, goat manure, newspapers, wheat straw, rice straw, corn stalks, and other crops. Warm food, uh, usually which they like: cattle manure, good nutrition, and natural food. Therefore, adaptation required. So this is very nice, and most of the earthworms can live there. But especially we are using Azina fetida, which is very nice species for vermicomposting. Uh, Poultry manure, a high nitrogen content results in good nutrition and a high value product. Sheep goat manure, good nutrition. Decomposted food waste, uh, good nutrition, partial decomposition makes digestion by worms easier and faster, can include meat and other greasy waste, less tendency to overheat. We have to avoid some materials like citrus, onion, dairy foods, dung of donkey and pieces of cat. Some processed food also contains preservatives which discourage the worms from eating it. Now the process is transfer of earthworms to the waste material. After collecting earthworms from vermi culture bed from the previous vermicompost system. We collect and then we introduce to the new system. Collect earthworms after vermicompost collection. Collected earthworms are transferred to the waste material for vermicomposted, which is already pre-composted. For this formula, it's not pet formula, but usually 1 kilogram earthworms, which contain around 1000 to 2000 earthworms, depending on the size and age of the earthworms, is enough for 50 kilogram of material, which may be farmyard manure, rice straw, whatsoever. So this is the earthworm, and you can see the cocoons also. They give the eggs, which are called cocoons, and then from cocoons, small earthworms, baby earthworms are which are maybe 1 to 3 earthworms. After 1.5 to maybe 2 months of composting, a manual harvesting is done by hand sorting, picking the worms directly from the compost by hand. Maybe composted material and earthworms can be separated by heating. The mash is around 1.5. Place light above the material containing worms. The worms will quickly dive below the surface as worms avoid light. So it's good if night crawling earthworms are there. So by using the light, they can live in the undersurface. We can then remove a layer of compost, stopping when earthworms become visible again. These worms can then be quickly transferred into container, weighed and prepared for delivery. So this is the sieving system which we usually using. Storing and packing of vermicompost. The harvested vermicompost should be stored in a dark, cool place. This is not normal compost, so this is enriched with live microorganisms and also many enzymes. So this is light sensitive and heat sensitive. So we should place at the cool place and dark. Sunlight should not fall over the composted material. It will lead to loss of moisture and nutrient content. It is stored in open place, periodical sprinkling of water to maintain moisture. Vermicompost can be stored for 1 year without loss of its quality if the moisture is maintained at 40% level. So this is just packing. And also this is can be packed in the solid form as well as in the liquid form, which is called vermity or many different names are there. So it can be stored. But for storing we have to be very careful. Factors affecting the vermicompost: feeding, temperature, pH, moisture, stocking density, CN ratio. Feeding rate is influenced by different factors like moisture, particle size, and organic content. So we have to consider each and everything for feeding. If we are adding much more material, then we should see what is the particle size, what kind of substance. So these are very important factors. Temperature, usually 25 to 37 is very important. So if the temperature is going high, then their efficiency will be low. pH normally 4.5 to 9, but Normal is 7, 8 pH is okay, very good for earthworms and moisture usually 70 to 80%, but we have to be very careful for timely application. It should not dry one time and then it sometimes more moisture. It disturbs the earthworms activity. Stocking density. The density of earthworms is influenced by initial substrate quality and quantity. The stocking density of 1.6 kilogram worms per square meter is optimum for CN ratio should also be considered, and low CN ratio is important. That's why we are doing the pre-composting, and it must be less than 20. Common problems, overheating. While hard composting is controlled, is a process, the enzymatic and bacterial decomposition of excess food waste, uh, uh, especially when bile releases heat. If this happen in a large open system like a windrow, a wedge, or a wedge, the worms can escape to cooler areas. There is a simple way to prevent a rotting, overheating worm bin feed less. Protein poisoning also happen if we are providing protein rich foods. Breakdown, you can see the use less protein containing food. It becomes like this sometimes. Excess moisture, this can lead to a compacted, anaerobic and sticky the composting material. So we should be careful. Compost worms are not subject to diseases caused by microorganisms, so they are mostly safe and sound. And they are subject to predation uh, by certain animals and insects. Red mites are the worst, and to a disease known as sour crop caused by environmental conditions. Some mosquitoes cause problems to the earthworms. So this, poultry also causes problem, and um, use of mosquito trap to control mosquitoes. How to control the mosquitoes, and then maybe okay. So, for conclusion, vermicompost is rich in organic matter, which plays a vital and contains all essential plant nutrients in sufficient proportion, thereby it is a complete and balanced plant food. Vermicompost is the best imaginable potting soil for house plants as well as farming, gardening, and kitchen gardening. On the other hand, vermicompost can be used for flowers, vegetables, and trees. The new concept and trend are ecological agriculture in Pakistan. Agricultural productivity is also decreasing due to global warming. Ecological agriculture is also of great importance for reducing the adverse effects of global warming. Vermi-technology, which include vermiculture and also vermicomposting, provides the best answer for ecological agriculture, which is synonymous with sustainable agriculture. I would like to acknowledge the Higher Education Commission, which provided this project. Project number is 7527 by NRPU. So it's from funded